Hello, gorgeous nation. This is gonna be a breakdown of All I Want. I'll start off with the songwriting of it, but then I'll transition into the actual production. This song was inspired by King Creosote's the title track off Ides. Super good, but the title track it's so good. And it kind of has the same vibe where it's like piano, but then eventually, right, like the climax, but it's like a ballad, like a sub bass comes in, it's amazing. And then I was also at the same time listening a lot, like on repeat, to Claws by Charlie XCX. And these are two very different songs. They're both my taste, and I love both of these songs so much. What would happen if I tried to fuse the sound with like a hyperpop classic, Claws? If you like Charlie XCX but haven't listened to Claws, girl, listen to Claws right now and then come back. The music video is so good. And then Ides, which is like a breakup thing, but by this Scottish folk musician, King Creosote, and he's like 50 something. Like they're different, but they're both so good. And I was like, I need to fit these both into my thing. All I Want means so much to me because it kind of represents like a rebirth of how I make music and just me as an artist. So the beginning of my sophomore year, so last fall, I set so many like high expectations and like goals and stuff for myself for the semester in composition school. So I started big projects and then I got burnt out and had to scrap it. And then that happened like 3 times where I started something really adventurous and then I didn't know what I was doing and I was like, no. The whole semester I was so depressed because I wanted to make the most out of my time in school, but I spent a semester really not making anything I was proud of, nothing that represented me as a composer, as a musician, as nothing. It just felt like a scrap as far as the music went. So I got home for winter break, which is like, yay, now I don't have to write music for school. I can just like jam on the piano, jam with friends. Both the melody and the lyrics, the all I want is for darkness to fall, a new day begins, for the new day to end. That came to me in the shower, like one of the first nights back home during winter break. And it just came to such a surprise to me because that's like such a pop melody, and I was really trying to do so much in school, like trying to explore new genres, and I wasn't really messing with like my own pop songwriting. Just at the moment, I wasn't fully like disregarding it as like an elitist thing. But I was like, that's really good. And then I felt like really connected to it. So the next day I sat at my computer with no microphone, no nothing, and started to sculpt it, and I like recorded the vocal just on my Mac laptop, just on the Mac, the internal speakers, because I knew I had to get this out, and I hadn't felt this motivated to write anything in like months. The lyrics to me, all I want is for darkness to fall. It was just the feeling of being so tired and so depressed. I remember looking in my bathroom mirror at myself. I might have gotten out of bed at 4 p.m. and it was winter, so the sun was setting. And I was like, all I want is for the sun to set, and then I want tomorrow to begin because today is shot. Today I didn't make the most of anything. Today is not a good day. And then a new day to begin, and for that new day to end, because I was so depressed, I knew that it would be the same thing the next day. It was just this weird feeling of time. I'm sure if anybody has struggled with mental health, you get it. Time just has such a different meaning. The day you're in now feels just as hard as imagining the next day. I thought of adding like more lyrics and like couplets to the rest of the song, but that stanza, all I want is for darkness to fall, etc., it just felt like such a mantra of where I was at that moment that I just wanted to keep it like that. Hello to the breakdown portion of the video. So let's start out right here. So, okay, this is what the whole session looks like. Wow, it's so pretty in here. So it's like 5 groups in my mind: vocals, instruments, and like tonal stuff. The bass, different. Percussion, pretty minimalist. And then ambient effects, which kind of makes up the breakdown, and then there's like more that goes on. But we're about to get into all that. I'm getting ahead of myself. So it starts out with vibraphone. And I remember I worked so hard to get this sounding like an actual vibraphone, because everything that, like all the presets, everything I found online, nothing sounded convincing to me. And I'm trying to remember what I did. So I think, okay. So this is the main one. There's actually two going on. But then there's a secret, there's a secret one right here. It's a harmony, basically. But yeah, so just this one, it's sculpture, and I messed with stuff. I don't know. This is my first time using sculpture. Copy what you see if you like how the vibraphone sounds, because it's all fake. You've been duped. And then also I worked some automation. I didn't want it to be hard to mix later on, so I kept it all static. But right in the beginning, I tapped all these in. These are volume. So like if I click this note, that's how loud that is. This is max, this is minimum. Yeah, the more you know. And then, so there's some EQ. I really want it to feel close and warm. We have Texturize, which is a cool plugin. It's free. Basically, it adds like a texture, and there's so many to choose from. It adds like a background Foley, basically. Hold on, I don't know how to get back. If we were to... Do you hear that? It's super quiet here. I'm gonna... Wet grains, yeah. And just underneath that, it just... You know what I mean? And then some delay to really fill it out and make it like ambient and not just boom, 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 boom. Yeah. That's it. And then the same goes for the harmony. And then comes in these wavy sine waves. I'm sorry, I glitched out for a moment. And I added this. This is also a free plugin, Tal filter, which basically this is tracking the volume. So before anything even happens, it's like that. And then right when this comes in, you kind of get a pulse, just because the slight... Get what I'm talking about? You get what I'm talking about? You get what I'm talking about. It bounces a little, and it just gives it a slight pulse in the beginning. Yeah, and then this, the vibraphone, it used to be piano. Then I replaced it with vibraphone, but I bounced the piano, reversed it. What is that? The Timothy Chalamet thing? Scratch it, reverse, whatever. Yeah. And it also has the same filter. Well, a different one, but same idea. Because when ambience has a pulse, it just... I love that. I love that. And then... And though everything is still repeating, to mark the new section, boom, bass comes in. And you will not be able to hear that if you're just on phone speaker or maybe computer speaker, because it is just a sine wave. These are basically turned off because this is the mix, like which of the oscillators or whatever are turned on. It's just the sine wave. Yeah. And I thought about making it like an actual bass sound with like overtones and like envelope and stuff, but I think it adds some chest to the whole thing, which it needed. what makes it cool is that I played the volume. So like the notes are in, but then I took this gain plugin and as it played, I went. So it would be like more musical instead of just ba ba. Get what I'm saying? Because volumes are everything, especially in bass. Because of the shape of the volume, it adds more emotion. All I want, sing it, is for darkness to fall anew. So this was my first time experimenting with auto-tune, using auto-tune, and I fell in love with the sound of it, because all I want, it's electronic, but it's like emotional. I don't know. I love auto-tune, especially I could have done like, what is that? On is for darkness. Like, and made it sound like there's not pitch correction, but I love the like metallic timbre it brings when the response, like how fast the pitch correction clocks in. It's so fast. All I want. Okay, second part of the verse. This is like kind of like an accumulation thing. This is my favorite thing to do in form, because even though this entire thing is a verse, we have to have some sort of progression. So this, no, wait, sorry. The sub bass, the really low wah, comes in like kind of introducing the vocal almost, because they come in at the same time, or at the same like measure. We're doing the same lyrics again, so this time this bass comes in, and it's an alchemy preset, gentle sign bells. I use gentle sign bells a lot in my music, love her. And then some EQ, make it more resonant, but cut out some to make space for the sub bass. Because if this weren't here, if all this low end was still present, these wouldn't be able to coexist. But they can share the same space still. And then sizzle bells, I love these. Another alchemy preset. It's gentle sign bells. The same thing. See, I use it so much, but metallic. But I just started learning like sound design and like made myself not use presets. So we're gonna have some more interesting sounds upcoming in my music, but I am also a preset baddie, so love her. Oh, I almost forgot. First percussion. Hey, baby's first percussion. Hey, get into it, yeah. I just call it train shrug. I don't know where I got this. Actually, with all the percussion, I don't know how I got any of the percussion. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah. And then like a vibraphone counter melody comes in octaves. And then my favorite part's coming up. Who's excited? This is my favorite part. Okay, so if we did this and this. Yeah. So this is called ambient sound effects moment. So I kind of want it to sound like someone hit a really big bell, not like with a gong, not like dong, but like and then everything slows down. And how I did that, where there's a few key elements. The main thing you're probably hearing is this bell. Isn't that great? So we hear this. We also hear this. It's like that is like a telephone ringing, I think. But then something's messed up with it. I think, yeah, okay. But then I slowed it down. Almost all of this is like slowed down in some way. And then, yeah, metal scraping. I think I found like, is it this? Yeah, that sample. And then I slowed it down and reversed it. And then also there's this, I called it just backwards metal. That adds like the high-end crispy element. It's also way spooky, and it comes around. Yeah. And then, yeah, there's like whoosh 1, whoosh 2, whoosh 3, but then under all of this is the scary pad. Whoa. And you guessed it, it's just this one thing. It's like an orchestra. But I took my mouse and I dragged it, I stretched it. And it's awesome because the song is in E flat major, and then this is an F minor 13, so it's like an F Dorian moment. It's literally every single note in the E flat major scale, but starting on F. Like F is the root of this chord, but it's da 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 da. All those notes in one chord. Da 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 da. You can hear all of those in there, and they're just like swirling because they were like strings and like a whole orchestra. But yeah, it's basically just a big 2 chord. But it's spooky. What's this? I know this is something else. I know it. Yeah, different metallic stuff. Right here, someone starts drinking. Or like a pitcher. What is she? Big old bell. One more time. Okay, one more time. Yeah, there's a lot of skullduggery in here. So once again, I took the and then I repeated it. I reversed it, so it goes. And then I bounced it, so it's. And then it's just like a rhythmic, a meter metal. And this is my favorite part. These distant pads. You're joking. And what I did was I found this. That was the whole sample. I don't know where I found it. I'm sorry. But then I tuned them to chords. So from and then the next one. And then yeah. Isn't that cool? And okay, so these two are like an A flat sus2. These are F sus2, and this is an E flat sus2. And I like it a lot because everything we heard before was the same chord progression. It was E flat major to F minor to C minor to A flat major. Very common, like pop chord progression, but then a new chord progression, but it doesn't even clock at first as like something we should be paying attention to. But then it's the chord progression. So yeah, Sorry, that was so long-winded. It's my favorite part. And then I kind of wanted to do like a So I, Charlie XCX moment where it's just like vocalization, just like yeah, so it's improvised and then it has tape delay. Yeah, compression, tape delay, just one bar. Different EQ to make it sound like it's in a different like space, like just the normal vocal, which is pretty flat. This makes it sound like it's just in a different space. Because now we're in this metallic, ambient space zone. Yeah. See, that was just improvised, and then this part into the like last section is this, it's like a boat. It's a foghorn. Yeah, that's what it is. Listen to that. I heard it and it goes from a C to a D to an E flat. I was like, that's perfect. It just sounds so old and like, it just sounds like we're going into something new, which so cool. I'm glad I found that. More percussion. So it's the same like train chug as I called it last time. And now, shaking in the left ear, dun, dun, super sloppy, super sloppy, and then right ear. Big final chorus. We have, finally the vocals are getting some love. This is just kind of like a variation on the all I want. We're doing the same lyrics, we're doing the same melody the whole time. Let's shake it up. It's for darkness to fall, a new day begin. Yeah, and then later. Very sloppy. We don't really need to hear the same vocal again, so it's just like purely for like emotional purposes rather than like hearing a melody. The delay vocal is still rocking its thing. Here there's breaths. These are breaths. Breaths do so much for like music. The power of just the sound of breath is crazy. Because listen how sterile and like not urgent it sounds without the breaths. Like, okay, why do I need to listen to this? But now. I don't know, maybe I could have added more or something, but it gives a sense of like urgency, which is awesome. And then I took some of the other takes from the improv section and just moved over here. This one has a phaser. That's so crucial in the song. Flat. And then the low one. This one has a harsher phaser. It's also, I also put it up an octave, so it was. But then, just to make it sound even more crazy. I just like took a little selection of somewhere in the vocal and then I pitched it. One of the last things I added were these zaps. Super bit crushed. It's like super just mid-range and then bit crushed. If this bit crusher weren't on it, it kind of makes the whole thing sound energized and distorted because all the instruments and everything except like the shakers are very low mid. The whole song is like low mid because my voice is low mids. The bass especially, like everything is like right where the voice sounds. So to make it exciting, like listen to how it sounds without the zaps. Very bass heavy, but it's not the same song without these. It sounds like it's just the low mids have finally like burst out the seams. It's subtle, but it tickles the ears in a way that I love. And then, though it says backwards metal, that's wrong. This is the snare. Sounds crazy. This is a... I don't even know if this is supposed to be percussion. I don't know. It's perfect and I love her. It's perfect and I love her. And then a kick. Isn't that nasty? Yeah, anyways. And then these are still going. Oh, I love these. And every one, they fall differently. Like none of them like start right on the downbeat of the measure. I like really messed up copying and pasting it, so like there's no pattern. So it just feels super out there. You know what I mean? It's not going da-na, da-na. It's just it's kind of keeping the lack of beat and meter from the middle section in. We love when things move together. Wow. That's the whole song. There's also this very speed thing. Like what if this was the song? Well, thank you guys for watching this All I Want breakdown. Hope you guys found it interesting. Maybe you learned something. This song is super important to me. I just love this. So, hope you guys loved it too. It's on SoundCloud. Subscribe. Follow my Instagram. Look at my website. I just finished my website. I updated it. It looks awesome. Listen to my music on SoundCloud. They're all like singles right now, but I'm probably gonna compile some things, release some new things. Might make some videos, who knows? The future is limitless. Yeah. Freaking have a blast.